Yep. Drink it in. A woman comedian. A rare sighting. I know you're probably thinking if I wanted to hear a woman yapping, I'd have stayed home. But there is no way your mothers are as funny as me.
Ah. So women aren't funny. But wait. Hold up. Hold that phone of yours. What about these? There's Jo Brand. She's very jokes. We've got Susie Ruffle. Andy Osha. All dry ice. A lot of dry ice around Andy. Wiggle for Women. Tanya Lee Davis. All hilarious women. So if women are funny and they're performing at Live at the Apollo, they're winning awards, writing sitcoms, mockumentaries, creating and performing in comic-led programs, then why is there such a disparity in the representation of male and female comics? Answer me that. Okay, well, we'll answer it for you. Right, let's jump on in. Firstly, we will begin with exploring popular myths. One myth is that women aren't funny because we have evolved that way. That is correct. Some people believe that it's not within a woman's nature to be funny, as they have never needed to be funny to reproduce or impress men. Basically saying that we have not developed a sense of humour. Christy Nicholson explains it like this. Men want someone who will appreciate their jokes, and women want someone who will make them laugh. The complementary nature of these desires is no accident. Researchers suspect humour has deep evolutionary roots, and many argue the laws of natural selection can help explain the complex senses of humour we have today. Absolutely, senses of humour can be complex, but if this evolution argument was prevalent, then women wouldn't be making people laugh at all, which is something they've been doing for years. Also, women have been making us laugh on our television sets since the 50s.
So we went out, and let me tell you something, he was a real sport. Money meant nothing. Nothing. He didn't have any.
Unfortunately, early female comedians were very few and far between. They were underrepresented and discouraged at the time.
There weren't a lot of female role models for someone like Lucille Ball. She had to look to the male comics.
Whereas males in comedy have had the upper hand for years.
Don't, Lance, please. Lance, you're moistening my knuckle.
But some women fought against this prejudice and displayed their talent in spite of the backlash towards female comedians.
Lisa, you can't say that on stage.
Say what? Change purse? What the fuck, Bobby?
Pregnant.
I can't say pregnant, are you kidding?
Nobody wants to hear that word. This is female stuff. It's private.
Mums Mabley was arguably the first female trailblazer in comedy. She inspired the likes of Red Fox, Whoopi Goldberg, and Richard Pryor.
When I was a kid, the first female comedian I saw on television, which blew my mind, was Moms Mabley.
I don't remember women being in the funny business, so she may have been the first woman that made me laugh, other than my mom.
Also, she was the first woman who was given a platform. Men tend to be the default, whereas women have to fight to have a level standing. And once they do, they can be received like this. Here is Christopher Hitchens, the infamous academic.
Women don't need to be funny. That for most men, if they can't make women laugh, they are out of the evolutionary contest. They are never going to get laid. There's no need to be rendering yourself attractive to men in that way. We already find you attractive, thanks.
Oh dear. No. What if women aren't rendering themselves funny for men? And what if they're doing it because they enjoy it?
I love this.
They want to pursue it as a career.
That this was the path I was going to go on.
They love comedy.
Comedy just is wonderful, isn't it?
They flourish in that environment.
And I thought, this is terrific.
So women are funny. They have always been funny. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure this evolution argument
not this again.
is pretty redundant.
Please, yes.
Now that it's done and dusted, we can now look at the representation of women in the current comedic climate. The treatment of women in comedy can be poor. It is hard for women to flourish in an industry where they receive such a backlash and are often stereotyped.
The problem with female comedians up till now is they tend to be either dykes or Jews or butch.
Good stuff, Chris. Yeah. Here's Hitchens again. Sadly, many agree with him, and there are countless negative YouTube comments about female comedians. Let's tackle some, shall we? If women are funny, tell me a joke. Make me laugh. as because the only person that can make me genuinely laugh are my male friends, because females aren't funny at all.
If you've never seen a woman be funny, then you're just a sexist asshole.
Woman's aren't funny. Siri tells better jokes.
Wow, thank you, Tim. Ha 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 ha.
I've got a joke. Feminism. No, Victor, no. What's the difference between a feminist and a knife? The knife has a point. Feel free to use this joke. Not sure who the original author was. Ah, how lovely. Is a sexist, but certainly not a plagiariser. Next time, put some good-looking, long hair, nicely dressed women and we'll watch.
Beg your pardon?
Anyway, enough of these
sexist assholes.
Some smart videos have been made in support of female representation in comedy. However, of course, this doesn't come without some backlash.
More women in comedy would mean that each individual woman doesn't have to represent her entire gender.
Alternatively, more women in comedy would just result in more unfunny women getting up on stage and doing bad routines, which would then reinforce the stereotype that women aren't funny.
Or women would get on stage and do a blooming good job of it, as proved by our previous point. Wowee. It just feels like women in comedy are repeatedly having the door shut in their face. Although the positive representation of women in comedy is on the rise.
A woman can be any size or shape she wants.
What about a hexagon?
Women can't get away from the fact that they are not yet on equal footing as their male counterparts. This can be seen in the representation of panel shows, with a recent study being done displaying that 1,486 panel shows on TV have been all-male panels, yet only one has been all-female.
But you know, it's really rare to be allowed to sit next to a female comedian. I don't know what they're worried that our cycles will suddenly synchronise or something.
Well, Sandy, we have to have a woman in each shot so we have diversity in every angle. You know what? It seems incredibly hard for women to get their foot in the door. Here are the only clips we could find from Mock the Week on YouTube containing more than one woman per show. Ooh! Oh, another. Another. Yes. Ooh! Ooh! Yes, and again. Wow. What a blooming surprise that is. Well, that's that then. At least Frankie Boyle's New World Order is making strides for diversity in panels. Even though Mock the Week can definitely do better. If you review where the show was at 10 years, 5 years ago, with no women, and there always are a few women per show now, even if they aren't allowed to sit next to each other, things are getting better.
The winner is Rose Massafin.
Times are changing, and we are hopeful, although there will always be a few pesky arseholes.
Hey, go home and clean the kitchen.
Oh, sir, I'm Jewish. I pay people to do that.
Women aren't funny.
Your wife must have a sense of humor. She's seen you naked. I'm sorry. I thought we were truth-telling.
You're a dumb bitch.
Oh, who told you? What can I say?
All the good men are taken, ladies.